Good day, everybody, and welcome to Comics Unlimited podcast. We are going to be talking about the Kirby, the King, and Captain America today. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Comics Unlimited podcast with your hosts, Glenn B. Fleming and Ted Davis.
Good day, everybody. My name's Ted Davies. I'm an artist and author, best known for Retrieve and Grimm 101 book series, and, of course, publishing this amazing magazine with my good friend here, Glenn B. Fleming. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. I'm a writer and artist and publisher like you, and I'm known for this one.
Absolutely.
We're talking about this one later. He's on the sign up on Indiegogo at the moment. So
I can get the glare off of that. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, awesome. Yes, and we can talk about that. Why don't we talk about it now? Let's talk a little bit about it right now. It's going to be going live here soon, right?
Yeah, probably end of March, maybe in 10 days or so. And it's on the sign up now. If you go to Indiegogo, I'll put the link in the chat and sign up, and you get the chance to win. If you sign up, you get the chance to win an original piece of artwork.
Awesome.
So that should be a good incentive, I would have thought. And I've got so far I've got 90 emails.
Excellent.
It's not bad, is it? So
get notified on launch. I mean, plug in, get the pre-launch button ready to go. We'll put it in the description too, like you said, and we'll have everything ready to go. And that's going to be in a couple of weeks, you think? It'll be live?
I would think so, yeah. I've just got to finishing off bits on the campaign, on the perks and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
Get my head around it and sort it out, and then we can go with it. It can go.
Cool. And then we'll do a live event too. Once it goes live, we'll take some time and we'll make sure we promote it properly. Comics Unlimited, the reason why we're here. I don't know if we can see that or not. Let me get the other one here. Got some kind of a reflection here. I'll put it over here on this camera here. Let's bring that up here real quick. There we are. There's the jewel, one of them anyway.
Yeah, that's the latest one.
We do a ton of them. This is one of my favorite covers. I'm glad that you did this in honor of Perez and Adams.
Yeah.
But we do a lot of it. Tell everybody about that, about the publication. Why don't
it's a 100-page magazine about comics. We've got lots of history to go on. We've got about 300 years collective, United States and European comics. So we're not going to run out of material.
Right.
We run interviews, and in issue 12, which will be out in a couple of weeks, there's an interview with Russ Leach, and there's an interview with me about Hatch, because I figured, well, it's my magazine. If I can't be in that, I can't be anywhere. So
right.
But yeah, it really is good. I say it myself, but I think it's a great magazine. 100 pages, It's available on Amazon. So.
Yeah, and you can go to Glenn B. Fleming's Amazon site and check it all out. And again, there's ebooks as well as paper.
All the 1 to 11 are ready in paper and ebook. They're all there waiting for you. There is some good stuff in there.
Right, and if you're a collector, I mean, it's a must. I think that if you have a collector in the family too, check out everything that we're doing with Comics Unlimited, because it's just a fantastic publication.
That issue
really
there,
a lot of heartfelt articles in it, and
it's really good. That issue there, number 11, it's worth it just for that artwork alone. That's Ian Gibson's Halo Jones. It's absolutely superb.
Absolutely. So, and it's
just being reissued apparently.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I think that's probably with our help too. It's been
maybe
there's been a lot of people wanting Halo Jones material.
It's one of those.
I don't know if Kayfabe ended up doing it too. I think that they were talking about it as well.
Yeah, they were talking to. No, they weren't talking. Brian Bolland they were talking about, weren't they?
Yes,
not Gibson.
That's right.
They're running it in color. I'm disappointed with that. I don't think they should.
I think the black and white's the way to original.
But it's one of those lost things now, because it should have been in 3 parts, I think, and Alan Moore and Gibson only did the first 2. So and now it's 40 years on. Even if they did it, it would be different.
Sure. It's a sign of the times. Yeah. I mean, it's just part of it. But yeah, definitely check out everything that we're doing on Comics Unlimited, because that is that's our bread and butter, and that's why we do this podcast. And if you're
Yep.
listening to the audio side of it, you can look at the video side of it if you go to Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube and become part of Ted's tribe on that. We also want to thank our amazing sponsor, Cashman's Comics, and Cashman is John Cashman, actually in Bay City, Michigan. Check out everything that John's doing down there, and say hi to Petey, the guard dog. If you guys are collectors, check out what Cashman has to offer. Cashmans.com. Ship worldwide as long as you pay for the product and the delivery. So check out everything that we're doing with Cashmans. Okay, so big day today. We're talking about, the king of comics in my eyes, and I know yours too. You've
Yep.
met him. It's a staple diet here on Comics Unlimited.
I think we always mention him, and why not?
Yeah, every episode we mention him.
Yeah,
Jack
he's
Kirby.
the best.
Jack Kirby. And today we're going to talk about I'm going to bring this up full screen, Captain America. Now this one here is a reader copy that I've had for quite a while. And I wanted to bring up a couple of different ones, but you can see there's scribbles on it. Somebody had had a pen on it.
Sid Shaw's inking. Sid Shaw's ink, no?
Right. It's worn, but it's loved. It's got a tear in it, but it's well loved. This is when I'm looking at Captain America. I've always, growing up with Jack Kirby, this was one of my favorites covers. So, but go ahead and talk. Well, I'm going to listen because you're the consummate.
Sid Shaw's was in the same battalion as Kirby apparently, but never saw him when they were in France in the army in the war. Yeah,
really.
He must have only been a mile or so away or whatever, but he was. But anyway, after the war, I think Sid went into illustration and advertising, and then in the late 60s needed some work, and I think he must have been talking to Jack, and Jack got Stan Lee to get him on board for these few issues. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He's got a very illustrative style, Sid Shaw's. I'm not sure whether it actually fits Kirby, but I've seen some of Sid's actual illustrations, and they're absolutely superb. Some of his portraits and things.
Right.
But I'm probably, with respect to Sid, who is a good inker, you can see he's a good inker.
Yeah.
But I just love Joe Sinnott on.
I know. I think that I agree with you, and we'll talk about that too. I think I've got an example of that. We'll look at that too, possibly. I don't know if I've got an example with Captain America, but I noticed that on this, we were talking about this in other shows. If you guys haven't checked out anything else on Comics Unlimited, go back to our playlist because we have a ton of things about Jack. Stan Lee wrote certain adjectives above or around Jack's name.
Yeah.
Jolly, whatever, how many different names he had. I know King was one of them. I'm going to show you that in a second. Do you know when he started calling him King? Was it after an argument or something? This is kind of...
No, I don't think so. I think I remember Jack saying that Jack was anything but jolly. He would never call himself jolly.
Right.
And I don't know whether he actually said that to Lee, but I think the thing was he just started calling him the king of comics, wasn't he? Because he was.
Right.
But the other people, we used to get Johnny and Ramita, didn't we? And all this kind of thing.
Sure.
It was just Stan Lee being Stan Lee, having a little bit of a laugh and making it fun. And it all adds up to the fun.
Right.
I wouldn't say that Kirby was any more serious than Stan Lee was in wanting to make a good production, but he brought that fun to it, didn't he, Stan Lee? With the
he was a showman. That was his power. This is one of the. For whatever reason, it's a small picture, but
he looks like the Century, doesn't he?
Right, absolutely.
Which is about the same time.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, it's just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, if you're listening to the audio, you guys definitely check out what we're doing on YouTube because the video is quite remarkable. But I just want to give you an overview of this, the power of what Jack did, especially. Tell me about why Captain America. It seems to me like it's such a paramount character for him, and I don't know if it's because of the military, his time there. What he did, during World War II.
I think. Well, Jack and Joe Simon created Captain America before the United States entered the war.
Okay.
But Jack said they all knew it was coming, so they
Right.
wanted to make the ultimate patriot, but they didn't want him to be like Superman, probably because they
Correct.
get sued. But Superman,
Right.
Superman is actually an alien, isn't he?
Yes.
So, but they wanted a fighting man, and they didn't necessarily want him to have superpowers, because Captain America is one of the few so-called superheroes that doesn't have superpowers. He's just an athlete, isn't he, basically,
Yeah.
with a shield. So they wanted him to be a bit more, I don't know what real than Superman.
Yeah.
And patriotic. That's why in the first Captain America cover, he's punching Hitler.
Correct. And that's an epic. I mean, that is the one to have. Let me get another one here. That was 102 for those that are looking at Captain America, and this one's 103. I really like this cover a lot.
Yeah.
This has been kind of my, I've always wanted this book. Now this one here, if you notice, he writes King on here.
Yeah.
So Jack King, not the King, but King Kirby. So
yeah.
That's why I wondered. I always thought that was weird between these two, that he switched from Jolly to now King. I thought maybe they might have had an argument or something.
I don't know.
He just didn't like him to be dissed. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's, I really think we were talking about composition on the last show. And I really think, like you were saying, even the forced perspectives, everything on what Jack did is amazing. I mean, it works. And I mean, look at that.
Look at that. How good is that?
I mean, that's insane. That's insane. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. And it's quite remarkable. Who ended up doing the colors on this? Let's see.
I've got no idea. I don't think it'll tell you.
No,
they didn't do the color then. It might have been Marie Severin or somebody like that. I'm not sure.
Shores did the embellishments.
Yeah, I don't.
Artie Simic.
What's the guy called? Is it George Roussos? I think he did. Was it? No. Saul Brodsky did some coloring, didn't he? I think.
Yes, I think you're
right.
I'm
not sure. I've seen the pencils for that page. Where he's swimming towards you there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Is it cool? I'm sure it is. Did you talk to Jack about Captain America when you were at the house?
Only roughly about what I've just said about him being a patriot and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really get into any, detailed about any superhero or any characters. But you can read.
And you were there a long time. Both visits, you were there a long time, right?
Yeah, but we weren't sort of talking comics. We were just shooting the breeze, about stuff and. Just having a laugh and
listening.
And listening. Yeah, he was talking about Oliver North and people like that.
Oh, at the time, understood.
All that was going on and stuff like that.
Got it. So, what was do you have a favorite Captain America story, or is there anything? Were you a big fan? I know Fantastic Four is kind of your staple when it comes.
to the best Captain America story. I think I'm not sure. Is it Tales of Suspense or Tales to Astonish, whichever one he was in. Astonish, wasn't it? I think I'm not sure which it is. But they're in like an Asian country fighting. I can't remember what happens in it exactly. Well, I just remember this opening shot of him. Oh, he was the best thing. See what happened when Captain America got its own magazine with a number 100. It sort of ruined it in a way because those shorts were so good. Those 10-page shorts were so good that he always started right in the action. Like that tumbler guy coming through the glass window.
Mm-hmm.
But when he produced the 20 pages, he had more of a chance to develop the story. And sometimes I don't think it worked. I think I like that instant action.
Straight away.
I'm not sure what number it was. About number 99 or something. I'm not sure what it was of Tales to Astonish.
Mm-hmm. But do you think that I want to show you this one, this particular one too, and I know it's Captain America and Falcon, but I wanted to show you the differences in the styling because this is much later in his career. That was in the 60s, late 60s, the Captain Americas I was just showing you.
68.
And again, this is 100 issues later.
What's that? That's about 1976, is it?
This is 70, I believe it is. Hold on a second.
August 70.
Can you see it in there?
It says
77.
77. Right. Okay.
So, and there is a difference totally. I mean, I can see it. I don't know if you do, but
yeah, I think. See, what happened was Jack told Mike Royer, who's lettered and inked now.
Yeah. Right.
Not to change anything.
Okay.
So what we get, and Mike's a great inker, fabulous inker, fabulous work, but we get a purer Kirby pencil, I think.
Right.
Whereas what 10 years before, Joe Sinnott was an embellisher.
Right.
You know?
And that's what it was stated. Yeah. In that. Yeah. One of the things too on this too, I mean, this one here. So Jack wrote, edited, and
drew it. Yeah.
Drew it. So I mean, it's quite remarkable. I mean, that's a trifecta right there. But yeah, I'm listening to you. I want to just kind of listen. I want to show people some of the interiors of this, and then we can.
Yeah, because what happened was, excuse me, when Kirby came back to Marvel in '75, he brought Mike Royer with him to work on his books, and I think part of that was that not totally that Jack liked his work on it, because obviously he would, but it was that he was in California as well, and there wouldn't be any need to be sending pages everywhere and this kind of thing.
Right.
And that worked later for Dave Gibbons on Watchmen, because he was the letterer on Watchmen. So apart from picking up another check, good for him. He could send photostat. He didn't have to send the pencils to be lettered. He could do it himself.
Understood.
So I think what Jack was doing in this time, and I may be wrong, but what I think he was doing this time was keeping the work so much more in-house, so he had more control over it. In terms of not having to send it to 15 different people to do something with it.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And
well, that's one reason he moved to California, right? That they be closer, or no? Or was it health concerns?
It was health concerns.
Okay.
With Roz and his daughter, I think. I think they both had asthma or something.
Understood.
And then Jack met Mike Royer out there, and obviously,
he let history. Yeah.
Mike lettered and inked them.
Got it.
It's great work. But he started work on, I think it was New Gods 4, I think. I'm not sure which one he started on, Mike. Yeah. But he did all the Fourth World stuff, and then Jack moved back to Marvel, and they took Royer with him.
Got it. So on this, the force perspectives, things of that sort, people are trying to, I don't know, they're trying to get the same look. Do you think? I felt that they were, but maybe I'm wrong. This isn't a Fantastic Four 200.
I think he only did the cover on that one, didn't he?
So
he didn't do the interior. Oh, he did. I beg your pardon.
This is dedicated. This is dedicated.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just saw that. Dedicated. Yeah. Yes, it's who's the artist? Is it Keith Pollard, Joe Sinnott? Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Joe, but that's what I wanted to show you because of the inking.
There's a Kirby cover.
Yeah, I believe it. I think it might be.
It is.
Boy, it looks like it. I mean the tech. I mean the sheen on this. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And Doom's armor.
You see, Stan Lee offered Jack the Fantastic Four to do it again, and he didn't want to go back to it, or Thor, but he did a few covers, didn't he?
Right. Oh yeah, he did.
He wanted his own titles.
I love them.
He wanted his own titles. That's why he took Captain America, because that was his in the first place.
Right.
And he did Black Panther, and he did the Eternals, and
correct,
all that sort of stuff. 2001 and all sorts of stuff.
This is 119. No, you name this one. I know you know this one.
That's not a Kirby cover. It looks more like Gene Colan.
It is spot on.
There you go.
Yeah.
The link there is the Joe Sinnott inks.
Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't scream Jack at all. This just doesn't look the same.
No.
And this is 119. And then I wanted to show you this one too from 159 from Captain America and Falcon. Just the differences in the styling. I just wanted to get a different perspective on it. And sometimes I got bored with these. Sometimes some of the different Captain Americas I didn't really care for. There was something about Kirby, even before knowing you and before really knowing about him, was that.
Selby Summer.
Yeah.
The thing is that it's it's the Kirby in it. It's the dynamic. It's, I don't know. It's like I said on another show that the artwork these days, in my opinion, is too stylized. The pin up here. There's no
You were saying it's too poster.
Yeah. There's no raw energy in it. And I mean, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
I mean,
even this one isn't like super impactful, but it's still got a lot of movement, especially in the down, this one is just stellar. I think that, like I said, this is classic. Classic Kirby.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Even with the scribble on it, and it's well read, it's well loved. And that's, this is why I like raw comics, because you can read them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
It might not be worth anything to anybody else, but to me, it's worth a lot,
Yeah,
and that's what's part of collecting. That's what
I also said on that other show about the difference in the styles. I mean, when I was buying these things first time around, I could tell whether it was Kirby, Sinnott, Kirby Giacoya, Gene Colan,
and you named them. I mean, you just did it. You just did it on camera. I mean, you named them. I mean, it's crazy. It's amazing.
But now they all look the same.
Yeah. I've learned so much just from you on different styling that I didn't really realize the line, how important the inker was, or the embellisher, whatever. I really have appreciated the medium so much more now. So thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, you can definitely see there's action in this one. There is, but it's just not the same. It's not.
There's something else
missing, right?
I'll tell you what I don't like as well. This is just my personal preference. I don't like word balloons on the covers.
I agree with you. I totally agree.
You see that cover there, where the sleeper's throwing him. It makes me want to read that.
Yes.
But the other cover doesn't, especially with those word balloons on. I just think it looks awful.
Well, even with this one, the Captain America with the Falcon, I love Falcon. I love the character of it.
Yeah, it's good.
But even this one, it's like, okay, the action's already completed. This, you're right in the midst of the action. It's like,
that's
boom,
right, yeah.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
Again, composition. Now, let's talk about the composition of this too.
Well, it's
he started the drawings. You were there. I mean, Roz told you that he usually starts the left-hand corner or whatever and worked his way through, or how
that would be on an inner page.
Yeah.
But she did say that he would draw. She sort of contradicted herself in a way, because he would start at the top left-hand corner like most people would, but he would draw a hand in another panel, and then he'd draw Thor's hammer in the other, and then just connect it all up. But I've said this before, when I do Hatch, when I draw, I draw the whole page. I'll skip to the next panel and draw something in there and do the whole page, and then at the end of the day, the whole page is finished at the same time. Understand what I mean? So in other words, if you've got 6 panels on your grid, and you start drawing on the top left hand panel, and you complete that drawing, then you go back to roughing in the next panel. It's a different thing. So what I would do is rough out all the panels, rough them all out, get the composition right, get the feel right, and just keep working in a circle around it. Then I would finish up. If I was doing Captain America, which I never have. If I was doing Captain America and you had 6 panels of him, I would work on all the Captain Americas, so it's always the same drawing. Do you understand what I mean? You're working on the same thing. And then I would work on the sleeper if he was in the panels. And then I would work on all the machinery in all the panels. You understand what I mean? So that everything is complete at the same time. And also, when I'm inking, I would always start inking. I never start inking at the top left hand. I always start somewhere in the middle or at the end, and I would ink all Cap's face in all the panels, and then do his body and his boots, and work so that you're not going Cap's head, his shield, sleeper, Cap's head, another shield, sleeper, because you when you're inking,
you're working over ink. You're working over that, and that could be dangerous. You could smudge. You could do.
Yeah, but that aside, that's just being careful. But that aside, you're inking. If you ink Captain America's face and then you ink the sleeper's face, you're still inking Captain America's face. Understand what I mean?
I see.
So you do all the Cap faces on the page, and then you do all the sleeper guy, and then you do the hands and all that.
So you're kind of cleaning your palette like if you were testing wine. I mean, it's the same kind of
Yeah,
idea, right? You're kind
yeah,
of rinsing your mouth a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I get that. I can
You know,
understand that.
and I know so many people who start at the top left-hand page and draw and render the full solid image in that panel, and then start the next panel, roughing it in, and then work their way through. And it's just, I just find that I can't work that way.
Yeah,
You
understand.
know, we all do different things different ways, but that's what I do.
Understood.
It makes the whole page be one. The panels on the page be one.
Right, right.
The same
This,
as when I'm lettering, I always letter the whole thing, the whole page.
right. That's the way I do it too.
Yeah,
This particular cover, I just the way that the lines work on the ground,
yeah,
on the angle, and then Captain America sweeping through this page.
yeah.
I mean, it's an arch.
It's like we said before. Everything is like it's like a circle. If you look at it, if you go from Cap's head
Hmm.
down, you go
Yeah,
down that machinery, you hit the shield, you go along, you go up the sleeper's leg, and up to his face, and then his left arm in the background, and
yeah,
then Cap's right leg, and then his Cap's left leg points at the sleeper's face. Everything connects, and everything makes your eye go around it. And then you've got
yes,
Cap's hand coming down onto his shoulder, to his head, to his shield, to the sleeper's leg, his arm, his face, his arm, and then Cap's leg. Your eye goes round it constantly. But the genius part of that illustration for me is the angle of the ground. If that
yes.
angle would have been straight, it wouldn't have
Thrown it
worked.
all off. Yeah, yeah,
Because if your eye slips past Cap's head and hits the machinery, what does it hit? It hits the ground that takes you
yep,
back to the sleeper's leg.
yep, yeah.
You see what I mean? And that's the way
Yep.
it works. And that's the genius of that. It just
And
doesn't
it's so
throw it
subtle.
down.
You don't even
Oh,
realize it. I mean, even
that
with our eyes that we've been working with this kind of thing for years, and
yeah,
it's amazing.
it's the genius of it. It's just wonderful.
Yeah,
It's just the best work. And I would urge people not to try and emulate the style, because we all do that.
right.
You've got then your own style will always come through, but just try and look at what he's doing. He's doing it for a purpose, and that's why they're so good. It's like a film director. You look at a Scorsese film and it's wonderful because he
Mhm.
knows there's no fluke in it,
Yeah,
like with Tarantino or Stanley Kubrick, there's no fluke. Everything you see he's doing, he's doing it, and that's why they're good.
and that's why they're masters. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome, man. That was that is I think that how do you encapsulate Kirby anyway? But I think that this is a pretty good example of I mean, Captain America for me though is Kirby. That is like the
yeah,
if I could
yeah,
say one thing, I mean, I know you Fantastic Four, you and I are huge fans of that and everything else,
yeah.
but when it comes down to it, this is what I think about. I think about him going down and getting challenged by one of those guys down at the bottom of the building and saying, "Hey, they were
Oh
not
yeah,
sympathizers, whoever
yeah,
they was," and then he goes
yeah,
down and just he's ready to go kick their butts. And that's what I'm thinking of when I think of Captain America. This is truly who I think the scrapper Kirby
yeah,
was.
yeah. He's great. And you see him, and he's 2 foot tall, and he just
Yeah, right.
this guy. But like as I've said before, and I'll say it again because I don't care. I'll say it again because I love those people. I would imagine that when Jack Kirby got to France with the other New Yorkers that he would probably be teaming up with, those Germans must have thought, what the hell was going on? But
Oh,
I
they were.
always maintained that it's a good job Roz wasn't behind them, because
Oh,
she would have
right.
kicked their ass.
It would
She
have
would
been.
have. She would have done it. She was a
Right.
tough lady.
Yeah.
She was a tough lady. She was a
You,
wonderful lady, but she was tough.
sure. What do you think as far as Captain America goes? Do you think he probably had a completely different perspective? Do you think he brought any of those stories not lightly into Captain America that he lived in Germany?
Definitely,
You think that
definitely.
was
Yeah, but more so in the losers.
yeah.
But yeah, because I think there was a time when they did some Kirby, when Kirby and Lee did some Captain America's in Tale to Astonish, when it was they were Second World War stories.
Hmm.
They sort of had him back in time. He didn't go back in time; it was from that time, if you understand what I mean. But produced in the 60s, and I think they did that for a reason. I think Jack wanted to do a bit of war type of thing and put Cap in there, and then later, like all Kirby stuff, did it towards the end of the 60s, early 70s, turned into science fiction, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Eternals, and then Captain America got a big science fiction-y too, and Black Panther and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way Jack was going. They did that 2001 special. He opened up. He matured. He told me himself. He matured. His imagination matured, and he looked at the stars. That's why he's done so many different things, like the romance comics, the war comics, detective comics, he's done the whole thing as well.
Yeah.
He's not just known for one genre, to use a horrible word.
Right. That's why they call him the King of Comics.
This is why they call him the King of Comics. They got this ready. Look at that.
Hold on, let me bring that up.
Can you see that hand?
Yeah, completely. Yeah,
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's Kirby, isn't it?
Totally Kirby.
And that's from the bicentennial.
Oh, nice. Really nice.
And I've also got prepared this one earlier for what I was just talking about, the 2001 as well.
Yep.
That's there's another similar thing to the hand.
Yeah.
When Bowman's crashing through from the pod,
Yep.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's, I've said it before. I'm a huge fan. I'm a bigger fan of Kirby because of you. I mean, the story, the book that you've written, everything else that the journey that you've been on has made my collecting so much sweeter. So thank you. That was good, man. It's a good show.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we had a chance to at least just the tip of the iceberg of what we're looking at with Captain America.
I mean, I said to you at the top of the show about Comics Unlimited having a joint 300-year history.
Yeah.
So we won't run out of information. You could do the next 300 years on Kirby, I think.
Oh, easily.
Because he's just got all this stuff,
I mean, we could do a channel just on Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again, man.
Okay.
All right. So we got a lot going on with Comics Unlimited, and we got a lot going on with Glenn. Is going to be launching his Hatch campaign soon in Indiegogo. Well, like I said, check that out in the description. You can join that and get notified notified on launch. So
composition.
Yeah, right.
All pointing to him, right?
Yep.
And his hands, and at the top, there's stuff coming down. This all pushes you to his face.
Yeah.
It's all done on purpose.
Cool. Interesting. Copycat. Just kidding. So I'm so glad that we did this. So thank you, man. I appreciate you. Like I said, it's always fun going over Kirby stuff because we always learn something new, and at least I do. So, all right, guys, check out everything we're doing. Like and share this out. It would be awesome for us. We would appreciate it. And yes, that's the interior Hatch. And check out Hatch the campaign on Indiegogo because we got a lot going on with that, and I know it's going to be a big seller for Glenn. And I know a lot of people are going to enjoy. Hatch is a great character. So thanks again, guys. We will talk to you and read some comics.
Welcome to the Comics Unlimited podcast with your hosts, Glenn B. Fleming and Ted Davis.